Hi, it's Eldon again from the Mind Body Project. So today's question is, why does depression come back? It's not really gone if it comes back. What I see, I did, CBT. I did some CBT, so I was learning what they do on there. And what they do on there is quite a lot of coping strategies. So it's a load of coping strategies. I see it in counselling as well, some of the counselling modules I did. So it's coping strategies. And what it is when... See, A is you don't want to feel A, yeah? So that's the depression. And what they do is like, okay, so when you get to A, so when you feel bad, then you do these patterns, yeah? When you get depressed, then do this. Think about what was just said there. Think about what was just said. When you get to, so now I have to be depressed to actually use these skills. And that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. Because that means I have to feel bad to then use the skills. And I don't like that. Yeah, why can't we just go off in this direction? Why do we have to feel bad? Go off in a completely different direction. Do something else completely. And that's the problem with that. Now, the intention is like when they see the client is actually going to feel bad, and what they're trying to do is stop the client or you from getting any worse. So that's the first point of call. Depending on what stage, if it's like a major depression, then they want to try and get you. So you make sure you're safe. So I can understand the intention of that. And there is going to be some need for that if you're at that stage. I think that for me, when you started to turn them around a bit and made it sort of more moderate depression, then what you want to do is you want to be focusing on something else. You want to be going to, the way that I look at it is a scale. And let's say excellence is here and dysfunction is here. Yeah. Now, when someone comes into for depression, they may come down here. Yeah. Let's say that's depression, major depression. Yeah. Now, what will happen is, say, a CBT worker or a psychologist or a psychiatrist will work with the person and move them up a bit, and move them up to here. Yeah. And that's fine. So they move them up to about there. Yeah. But then they say, okay, cool, you're fine now, because we've got other people to deal with, because we're quite busy. And this is exactly the problem. This is why this is going to be a problem. Because they are here, they have not learnt skills to get to here. Excellence. They've not learnt those skills. They've learnt skills when they feel bad, when they're going this way, they know what to do that way, but they don't know what to do when they're going to excellence. They don't know how to continue that and build and develop and build and personal develop and have more and more skills to do things. The other problem is as well, they've not broke the patterns. They've not broke the patterns. So that caused that. They should not be, after you finish with them, they shouldn't be able to get to they shouldn't be able to be depressed. Yeah, that's the test. The test is, before you leave someone, they shouldn't be able to get there. You should have broken their patterns up that much that they find it, they can't do it, they just can't get there. And that's the difference. If you leave them with their patterns intact and their depression intact and everything, and you haven't broke the patterns, then it never leaves you. And what you're going to do is you're going to end up with the person who is just going to be basically coming back to you. They're going to just come back. Once things get a bit too much, if they haven't got that more support, or the coping mechanisms are not working as well, then they're going to come back. And that's the way it is. So in the Mind Body Project, break the patterns first. You can't do anything unless you break the patterns. Yeah, you have to do that. Look at Tony Robbins is a master at that. It'll break all of them first. It'll break the patterns, break. Now you can put in a new behaviour. If you try and put a new behaviour on top of the old behaviour, then what happens is, yes, you can do the coping mechanisms, and you can do them, you can get along and do that. What happens is, soon as something bad happens or something significant emotional event happens in your life, then all of a sudden you'll go back to the old way. You go back to the old things, and that's the problem, because it's the old patterns. You'll go back to them. You're going to go back to what's familiar. So people will always go to what's familiar. But if I take that away, they haven't got any option. Yeah. So that, and the other thing is as well, is building these skills. If you leave them here, and this is why you sort of need both integrative medicine. You need both, because if people get really, really bad, they need to see psychiatrists, they need to see psychologists, they need to see you need to see a CBT therapist. But I think that's where they're useful. If someone's really bad, then these guys are really good at helping them there. But when it comes to making sure that they are not coming back, then they haven't really got those skills to do that. They can move them up here, so it's just below average, the average person. But then after that, this is probably when someone like me needs to come in and go, right, okay, now you've done that, I'll take them from here and teach them how to do these skills. So that is why it's sort of integrative medicine is the way forwards. It should, because there's always a need for both. There's always a need, and that is why the depression will come back, because it's never really gone in the first place.